working on staining this thing, leaving the back kind of a natural black walnut, like I said in the last video. So I just did like a heavy coat of black on the sides, and then I did a heavy coat of the oceanic deep blue, and now I'm kind of creating the contrast with the black here. So it's kind of, this is kind of the fun part. Again, I'm using this leather dye, and then I'm just using the liquid stain color tone. Always smart to hold this over what you're working on. It's definitely not smart to do that. And then in this dish, I have denatured alcohol. And that's gonna help dilute the stain along with the stain here. So I'm on the black stain right now, and I'm just kind of slowly kind of blending the two, the black and the blue together. And it's with the expectation that I'm gonna let it dry and then take like steel wool or like 600 grit sandpaper and kind of work in kind of a weathered, worn look and some contrasting areas for the sides and for the top. So this is how I go about doing it. When I was in New Mexico a couple months ago, I went to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, and it's cool because first of all, it's like super inspiring to see her work, and it's also cool to see the colors that she used and kind of her style, which I was already very familiar with, but just kind of see it up close and personal and read about just her life more. A lot of stuff I didn't realize. And anyway, she had a few paintings that were kind of this sharp blue black contrast, which I didn't quite register until I started staining. I was like, I feel like I've seen this combo before, and I was like, oh yeah, it's from the Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit. So anyway, I'm not too worried about overall lines or streaks or anything, because I'm just trying to get the color down, and then I'm going to go over it with the denatured alcohol. So and I'm kind of just assessing things as I go. It's kind of a little bit of like improv. Like I have kind of a vague concept in my brain right now, but it's one of those things you don't really know until you start working on it. You know, the wood's gonna hold the stain maybe in an unexpected way, and you're gonna have to improvise and figure out a solution. Or maybe the denatured alcohol dilutes it in a way that you didn't quite realize. Like most things in life, things rarely go as expected. So again, loose concept in my mind. Nothing more than that, really. Now to kind of blend the colors here, obviously it's very sharp contrast between the blue and the black. I'll just take the rag I've been using and then dip it in the denatured alcohol. And then I'll just, kind of like with French polishing, you don't want to just like put it straight on, but you kind of want to like hover and circle and then go at it. And you kind of see, you kind of create this nice blend of the two colors. I'm just using a t-shirt rag for this. Again, the concept is like a midnight blue, black, and very like oceanic kind of vibe. So I have, again, a vague concept in my mind, but I don't really, sometimes when you're working with the colors and mixing them, it's not till you actually see it, we're like, oh, that's it. That's what I need to try to replicate. So I kind of got a hint of that just now with this upper bout. kind of in here. I really like that. I'm gonna do some more black. Some people might be like, why not just use a spray gun? You could. I like the organic process of mixing and blending the colors. I feel like a spray gun is kind of limiting and kind of, I don't know, boxes you into an approach. Whereas I feel like this way I can have a little more elbow room. Especially if it's kind of like just a totally random concept. I'll just really kind of go at this little print here. If I were to mess up and be like, man, this just totally sucks, just sand it back. See, I kind of like when you get the swirl marks like that too. I think it's really cool. I'm not going to leave them, but I think I'm just looking for little nuances that could kind of mimic like the flow of water or waves or ripples and things. So that's kind of why I like to also just do this approach to staining wood. Now the bridge that I made for this guitar is curly maple. Now I'm gonna stain that kind of a rich blue too, and that's gonna be obviously like right here. So I'm not too worried about the colors right here. And then I'm also gonna add in the sound hole kind of like a crescent moon of contrasting color. So I'm trying to keep those things in mind as I go. I think to most people this looks like a total mess right now, but I guess to me it looks like just part of the process of finding the final solution. Or not solution, finding the final concept. And sometimes it could take like, you know, a few days to find it, because you're just mixing, sanding back, mixing more colors. So I don't have the expectation right now that I'm gonna have it dialed in and that's gonna be it. It's more of, I'll stain it, mix the black and the blue, maybe not look at it for a day on purpose, just to look at it with fresh eyes.